Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Foliage. In today's video we are going to be talking about another beautiful variety of Homalomena. This is called as Homalomena Emerald Gem. It looks very different from a regular Homalomenas you might have seen. They tend to get really large leaves, but this particular variety, I would say it's kind of like a dwarf variety wherein the leaves don't grow very large, but it has that same structure on the leaves, which is the ridges on the leaves. It has that same style of what the Homalomenas have, but the leaves are going to be smaller. In fact, it's going to grow even more bushy. Now this plant had recently come in, that's why you can see there is a yellowing of leaf. Now whenever you see a newly purchased plant, once you purchase and you keep it at home and you notice one leaf or two or three of them turning yellow, you do not need to be worried. This is the process of the plant getting acclimated to the new environment. So it's okay, you can take it out. I will take it out later. You can take this leaf out because it's completely yellow. It does not participate in the process of photosynthesis. But if it was half yellow and half green, I would have left it in the plant itself. But right now we will take it out. And this is an absolutely beautiful plant. I just happened to notice that this leaf has a slight dark green and then the entire large leaf is light green in color, which looks even more beautiful. I didn't know that the plant does this, but it looks absolutely beautiful. Even over here as well, you can see. Now the plant care is absolutely easy. There is nothing much to be worried about this plant. It's a very low maintenance, non-fussy plant that you can grow just like the other Homalomenas. But the only thing that you have to keep in mind is the humidity. You have to ensure that there is a good amount of humidity, especially for people who are from a very dry environment. Like for me as well, it is a little bit tricky because of low humidity, but I ensure that I mist the plant and I keep a lot of plants around to increase the amount of humidity. So let's start off with the light. Now talking about the light, please do not expose them to direct sunlight. Probably early morning before 10 a.m. if you have a very mild sunlight, you can offer that. But after that, please don't offer any direct sunlight because they do not like direct sunlight. In fact, if you're going to place them in afternoon direct sunlight, even for 30 minutes, the leaves will start to get burnt. So you have to be extremely careful. You can grow it indoor, you can grow it outdoor. Indoor, if you have a windowsill wherein you get a good amount of indirect bright light, the plant will do excellent. Or you can keep it outdoor, probably under large foliage plants. Ensure that you are not underwatering this plant because they are not drought tolerant. You have to maintain an even moisture in the soil but not soggy wet soil. So ensure that the moment you see around 1 inch of the upper layer of soil is dry, go ahead and do a complete watering until the water starts passing through the drain hole. Now for that, in order to maintain that slight amount of moisture, we also have to make a soil mix appropriate to that. So the soil mix that I have used in this is coco peat, garden soil, sand and perlite. Coco peat is going to retain that slight amount of moisture. Garden soil will give the natural nutrients. Sand is going to make the soil mix well draining, loose, porous, and perlite is going to make it airy. They prefer a loose, porous, well draining soil mix. We do not want to make the soil mix very compact, otherwise that will damage the plant. Talking about fertilizers, please don't add fertilizers during the winters. Also reduce your watering during the winters. During winters, the plant tends to slow down its growth, so it does not need a lot of nutrients. Fertilizers can be added during the summers, which is their active growing period. Now talking about propagation, it can be easily propagated via root division. Eventually it will start putting out more shoots. Then you'll have to take out the entire plant and separate it from the roots. Do not do a cutting of the petiole like this. This is not going to work out. You cannot cut the petioles. They will not do quite well. You have to separate it from the stem, or if you tend to see an offset, that is how you can separate it. Now this plant is relatively young because I recently purchased it, so it does not have, or it is not very bushy right now, but as and when it starts to grow, it gets even more bushy. Now talking about pest issues, yes, this plant does get affected with mostly spider mites, so always turn the leaves and check. The moment you see there are any yellow spots, turn the leaves and check because that could be a spider mites infestation. Mealybugs you might see on the stem area, which are very visible. Spider mites are a little difficult to detect, so always do a routine check. Try to resolve the issue at the early stage because if you're going to wait for longer, the entire plant will get infested and then it's very difficult to treat the plant. Now, is this plant toxic? Yes, Homalomenas are toxic if the leaves are ingested. So ensure you're keeping this plant away from the reach of small children and pets. Other than that, this is an absolutely easy to go plant. If you are a person who cannot accommodate larger leaves plant but you love Homalomena, then emerald green is one of the plant you can add in your collection because it does not require a lot of space. This is probably a 4-inch pot that I'm using for this plant. The smaller pot is absolutely okay, but as and when the plant starts to grow, either you can divide the plant or you can move to the next bigger size of the pot. It's an absolutely easy, low maintenance plant. Only thing that you have to keep in mind is the humidity. If you have taken care of that, this is one of the most easiest plant that you can add in your collection. So guys, that's all about it. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep propagating.